All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, I wanted to ask the question, is the 2024 season salvageable for the New York Jets? Obviously, it has not gone as planned. The Jets are 2-5. I mean, I posted a video yesterday titled, "This season has been a nightmare so far." There's more questions than answers. It feels as though the Jets are reeling. I would go as far as to say that the Jets are coming off the worst loss of the season for them. I mean, the fact that this team scored 0 points in the second half is bad enough. But then to allow 31 unanswered points to the Pittsburgh Steelers in a big time game like this, and to, I mean, be up 15-6 and then to lose 15-37. You have Aaron Rodgers after the game saying, he felt or sensed a lack of just kind of energy and juice before the game. He felt that same feeling at halftime. Ulbrich said he felt it at halftime. The Jets are reeling right now. They are searching and searching, and it just feels like they're coming up short or empty-handed. Again, a lot more questions than answers. We take a look at how the Jets have been performing on the field. We all know that there has been a ton of confusion, a ton of mishaps, a ton of self-inflicted errors, just over and over and over again. Take your pick on whatever it is, right? Dropping passes, inaccurate throws, turning the ball over, poor pass protection, can't establish the run. It's just issue after issue, right? And that's just on the offensive side of the football. If we take a look at the defensive side, it has been night and day compared to last season. I mean, we can't stop the run at all. We don't really have a go-to pass rusher outside of Will McDonald who's producing. Now, hopefully that player is Hassan Reddick, but I do feel like it's pretty unfair to assume that Reddick is going to go snag 12, 13 sacks in a half year where he's only had, up to this point, 2 practices since the end of last season with the Eagles. No training camp, no preseason, has to learn the system, has to learn the players, all these different things. Now, of course, you can argue, all right, he's a veteran pass rusher, just go stick him on the outside in limited pass rushing situations to kind of help ease him into the process a little bit. But again, we're halfway through the year. The Jets are 2-5. It would have been much nicer if this was handled before the season started, but we've known about this issue for a long time, so I don't want to harp on it. You're looking at the defensive line, there's issues all over the place. I think you take a look at the safeties, it's been atrocious, right? Oh, the Jets don't value safeties. Well, we should have, because we really could have used one. There are multiple former Pro Bowlers out in the free agency market. The Jets passed over and over and over again. These guys are signing affordable deals, and we're suffering in the back end. And we're also beat up as well. But I think the main issue for me on the defense side of the football, which just drives me insane, is just the lack of toughness, lack of mental toughness, lack of physical toughness. I mean, the tackling is just awful. How many times did you see Najee Harris? This is just one game, by the way. How many times did you see Najee Harris take a handoff, have contact, and not fall to the ground, right? The refs just blew the whistle dead, or he's just going until he just steps out of bounds with a defender on him. It's just, where's the tackling? I want to see more guys going down on first contact. I want to see guys flying in, not trying to do these arm tackles, right? Like afraid to get their hands dirty, right? Really stick your nose in and go make a play. Where are the hard hits, right? You just don't, you're watching the Jets, you don't really see anyone actually delivering hit sticks back in the day with Madden reference here, outside of Quincy Williams. And then outside of offense and defense, you can take a look at, just other organizational problems, right? How are the Jets in the kicking game? Worse in football, 32 out of 32, right? Our percentage is horrible, 61%. As far as field goal efficiency, how are we with turnovers? Not that great. We're ranked in the 20s in pretty much every major statistical category on the offensive side of the football. How about penalties? Oh, no, we're bottom 3 to bottom 4 in penalties per play, penalties per game, penalty yardage per game. So clearly there's a lot of issues, right? There's a lot of areas that need to be worked out for this team. And it sucks because we're already 3 games beneath 500. It would be one thing if this was week 1, week 2, week 3, but we're going to week, 8? And we are playing the New England Patriots, a team that we've already beaten before, a team that only has 1 win on the year, which is positive, and, it's another AFC team, a divisional game here. So as far as, the seasonal standards, right, the overall record at the end of the year, these divisional games always kind of feel like they're, worth a game and a quarter, a game and a half. But let's not sugarcoat it, right? The New York Jets don't have the privileges anymore of looking at the schedule, right? I personally cannot look at the schedule and say, oh, you know what, the Jets should beat that team. Oh, we're better than that team. Or, oh, we have more talent than this squad. Let's circle this one. That should be an easy win. Nope, not anymore. Why? Because the Jets shoot themselves in the foot. We have blown game after game after game after game. We're currently on a 4-game losing streak, and you got to imagine that has got to end at some point. I do feel as though it is going to be this week, but the Jets can't. We have to string along multiple wins here to get out of the basement, get out of the cellar here, right? If the Jets beat the Patriots and then just go back right into their losing ways where everyone's disorganized and looking around and the body language is just absolutely awful on the sidelines, guys just look like they don't want to be there. There's a lack of energy. I'm watching the game against the Steelers the other night. I felt a lack of energy. I'm down in Florida. I felt a lack of energy through the TV. So I think Aaron Rodgers was spot on with that. But how are the Jets going to fix that? How are they going to, hurdle that issue? So, yeah, and, you could also make this argument too. If the Jets beat the Patriots, great. One step forward, awesome. But the 3 wins this season have literally came against the 2 worst teams in football, 2 against the Patriots and 1 against the Titans. And this is just me just flat out assuming that the Jets are going to go out and win. This is going to be in Foxborough. We don't really know what we're going to see or get from Drake May. I'm not in a position where I'm going to assume a win or anything, right? The Jets have got to go out and show us, prove to us that they can actually go out there and function as an NFL team and look competent, because up to this point, they have not looked competent. So, is the season salvageable? It starts this Sunday. You got to get a win. If the Jets lose this Sunday, I think it's a wrap. The Jets cannot afford to lose another AFC game to one of their biggest rivals, a team that has 1 win, and expect to go out and beat Houston on a short week on Thursday and then travel cross country, to play the Arizona Cardinals in their house. We play the Bills later on in the year. Essentially, if the Jets are 2-6, they would have to win every single game for the rest of the year outside of one to be relevant in the playoff picture, right? To get 10, 11 wins. That's a big, big task for what we've seen so far. And look, it would be one thing if we were in year 1 of a head coaching regime, right? GM head coaching regime. It would be one thing if Aaron Rodgers was 32, 33 years old. It would be one thing if, we're losing these close games, but it's a nice back and forth and we're just coming up short in the end. But it's all these penalty yardage, all these sacks, all these turnovers, all the confusion. It's just, we got a lot of work to do, right? So, is the season salvageable? I'm going to say yeah. I think the answer or the maybe message within the locker room should be backs against the wall. Are we mathematically eliminated? No. We have the power to go out and get W's. We are beating ourselves weekly. And it's not to take credit away from any other team out there, right? Clearly, these teams are good. Vikings, Broncos defense, right? Buffalo Bills, they're rolling. Pittsburgh Steelers, I view them as a playoff squad. But it would be nice if we didn't assist the other team in having issue after issue after issue and giving teams breaks here and there over and over again. So we better turn it around. And I think I'll leave it there. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.